So I am fully convinced the quote unquote old WNBA fans and old WNBA media don't like basketball. I'm fully convinced about that. And if you want to call me out for doing the same thing on the opposite end, subtract every single drama video, every single fever video, and every single other video, and I still cover more WNBA news than anyone else, and I can guarantee you, if you have a problem with me now, you're going to have a real problem with me in the offseason covering Fenerbahce, covering Besiktas, covering European leagues, covering college basketball, because unfortunately, unlike most legacy WNBA media, I love the sport of basketball. I absolutely love the sport of basketball. And you can tell that they don't like the sport of basketball when Caitlin Clark is still... These Caitlin Clark haters that were so happy that, Caitlin Clark fans are going to go, they still won't shut up about Caitlin Clark. They're trying to ruin the career of journalists that are associated with Caitlin Clark. They're trying to ruin the career of Rebecca Lobo, of the You Bet guy. I'm sorry, what's there to hate about the You Bet guy? He just, what's it, Ryan something? Come on. Come on, he's just trying to be the WNBA's version of, Mike Breen shouting, blocked by James or bang. He's just trying to be their version of that. Come on. Give him a bit of a break. But they're trying to end his career. They tried to end Rebecca Lobo's career because they claimed that she was the fourth place. Why does a picture of Aja Wilson? Because there's a correlation between Aja Wilson fans and the worst of the worst. We have seen people in WNBA media, and I mean this, legacy WNBA media, people that imply that they don't want to see the Lynx and the Liberty play because, that'll be the best basketball series, but I really just want drama. And it's it's okay. I don't care if you admit that. But it's one thing to be purely drama-based, and it's another to claim to be, these experts and complaining about new fans coming into the league, when the reality is the new fans will talk more basketball than anyone else. They'll talk more basketball than anyone else, if you want to look at actual basketball breakdowns of this league, especially on social media, outside of Hunter Cruz maybe, it's the new people that will do it. And by the way, there are crazies on both sides. And if you want to consider me in that group, I don't give a damn. But at the end of the day, I'll make videos that people want to watch, and whatever I think topics will be interesting, whether it's talking about the old WNBA media trying to tear down 22-year-olds, or whether it's about a 24-year-old from Germany coming in and being the X factor for the best team in the WNBA, I'll talk about it. I don't really care. But one thing I want to really make a point about is DeWanna Bonner. So DeWanna Bonner is one of the best players of all time. She's one of the greatest ever. Tonight might be the last game she ever plays. If they lose, there's a good chance tonight is the last game that she ever plays. But what is the news around her? The fact that she confronted Christine Brennan. And by the way, for everyone being Christine Brennan said something to the league, I think she might have said something to the league. But the only reason this is news is because the journalists are making sure as hell that they falsely reported that she put in a formal complaint. Christine Brennan put in a formal complaint to the league. So, DeWanna Bonner, one of the best players of all time, she balled out in the playoffs. Even in game 2 where she struggled, she still hit one of the biggest shots of the series for the Connecticut Sun against Indiana. She comes in and hits big shots. DeWanna Bonner is and look, a lot of people are like, oh, she got into a Caitlin Clark. I don't give a damn. DeWanna Bonner is a baller. She's a class act. She is one of the best players to ever pick up basketball as far as female basketball is concerned. And she might have her last game. But because the legacy WNBA media is more worried about drama than they are about the sport of basketball, and by the way, that's on all sides. Christine Brennan is in the same boat as your one Sarah Spain. But we've now, and I literally saw someone who has been promoted by the WNBA itself. I'm not going to say that it was a threat, but very much implied that, she basically said she was trying to egg people on to pull up to her, and then also said she carries. I don't know. I'm not American. I don't think I've seen a real gun in my life outside of America, so I don't know, but like, it doesn't read well. That's all I'm going to say. And like, these are people that are being promoted by the WNBA. We all know about the Dolores thing. Like, that man is being promoted by Aja, is being promoted by Dawn Staley. Dawn Staley still follows Antonio Brown, and anyone who calls her out for it, she's refusing to unfollow Antonio Brown. Anyone who calls her out for it gets blocked. So obviously it's respect all women unless that woman wears number 22 and plays for Indiana. But at the end of the day, like, what are we doing? And the reality of the situation is that it is a problem. If you are someone that is complaining about so much of the coverage being drama related, there is a very good chance that you are part of the problem. Because if you guys know anything about the way social media algorithms work, if you interact with the drama, you will see more drama. If you don't interact with any WNBA stuff, you will not see WNBA stuff. If you only interact with breakdowns, you will only see breakdowns. The problem is that the people that are complaining about the drama are the people that want to watch the drama. And me, look, I'm benefiting from it. I'm not going to lie. Like, I'll give my opinion on these topics. I'll give my opinion on it all. At the end of the day, this is a WNBA news channel. Sometimes the news is drama. Sometimes the news is basketball. More often than not, it's drama. More often than not, it's drama. And it is just, a lot of it is just reckless journalism from all sides. And our 22 in Indiana, she's just going and playing basketball in, she's not playing basketball, she's playing golf. She's playing golf. There are players playing it Unrivaled, which a lot of people think I want to fail. No, I just don't want to. I want it to go 5v5. I want the first season. They have the money for 3 seasons. I want the first season to be a disaster so that they change the format, because full court 3-on-3 is gimmick basketball. It is gimmick basketball. It's not real basketball. I would love to see a separate league being set up, a proper 5v5 league. I said it about AU, that I thought AU was gimmick basketball too. But at least it's 5v5. But when it comes to Unrivaled, like, I would love to see them just say, you know what, screw it, we'll pay a little bit less. We'll go 5 teams of 10, and we will add in like 20 extra players and make it like a mini 2-month league. Like, I'd be cool with that. I would support that league, regardless of who's in and who's not. But I just think gimmick basketball is gimmick basketball. But yeah, it is. It's just the truth about the whole situation. Like, we're watching this game, and I can guarantee you that during the game, there's going to be some sort of fight on social media. And then we're going to go into a Twitter space where some unhinged person says something. And then I can guarantee you that at the end of this game, the conversation is going to be somehow brought into Caitlin Clark fans equal bad. And I genuinely mean that. Like, it's almost like these WNBA media, these legacy fans, don't even treat it like it's a sport. I'm sorry. Like, teams can be hated. Like, people cheer against Manchester City. I cheer against the red side of Manchester. I have not referred to them as anything other than the scum on this channel. It's not like that's what sports rivalries are. The Aces have like broken every financial cap rule. What they did to treat Dearica Hamby. They've played victim nonstop. They celebrated last year's title by belittling their opponents instead of celebrating their own successes. And people are shocked and being like, "Oh, these new fans cheered on them to lose. It's because they're racist." And I'm like, no, I just want that team to lose. I couldn't care less. Like, I think Kelsey Plum is as unlikable. And it's like, again, what Kelsey Plum went through this year was tough. It was very tough. And obviously, for any player that's got to this level, you have to have respect for their work ethic, have respect for these people. I don't like Kelsey Plum. Heck, the most likable player on that. Like, no one has ever had a bad word to say about Jackie Young. She just doesn't say it. She just hoops. Nobody knows what Jackie Young's opinions are on anything. She just hoops. She hoops better than almost anyone else, especially at that guard position. But yeah, it is just one of those things that I'm noticing, especially because we're seeing good playoffs, and I really noticed it when Caitlin Clark was out, and Fee Collier scored 42 points in a game, and averaged 40 in a series, and people just ignored it. People have ignored what Fee Collier has done. Fee Collier, if they make the finals, will have had one of the most impressive playoff runs ever. But because she doesn't, because people can't scream point guard every time she scores, people won't really care. Like it was when Chelsea Gray in 2022. The old WNBA fans, I'm telling you, they're just there for narratives. And it's the reason why I think everyone on the Aces gets so much hype is because they start shit. They will start the drama. They will be involved in the drama no matter what. The Connecticut Sun, outside of Dijonay, don't. DeWanna Bonner, in general, doesn't really start drama. But you're now hearing people talk about DeWanna Bonner not because of basketball, because she said something to Christine Brennan. Like, I'm convinced that they don't want to watch this be basketball. They want this to be a reality TV show amongst people that play basketball. They're not interested in what happens on the court. And by the way, I can guarantee you, I can list off the people that are going to talk about what happens in this game tonight in Game 5. If we're talking about WNBA media, I think we're going to see something written about the sport from Robin Lundberg, myself, Quiddle of Sports, Hunter Cruz on YouTube, and then maybe we might see an article from someone on ESPN, but it's probably not going to be someone you've ever heard of. And I can guarantee if the Connecticut Sun win, it's not going to be about how they play basketball. It's going to continue the Christine Brennan conversation. If they lose, it's going to continue the Christine Brennan conversation because legacy WNBA media, legacy WNBA fans, they don't even like basketball. They don't care about basketball. They don't like the sport.